Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Chill Gunpla Building. It's me, Jake. It's been a long time. It's been about 2 months since I've actually worked on any of my models. And, it's that time of year. It's December. It's cold here in New England, which is the perfect time to stay inside, have some candles going, and just relax and build some Gunpla. So we're going to be working on finishing up this ZAKUIIF2 kit. You can see we've got the complete upper body completely done, panel lined, and it is looking gorgeous. I really like this Zaku kit. The Zaku 2s are, in my opinion, one of the most iconic Gundam designs. One of the most iconic mecha designs, really. That dominant Commander Finn just, looks so nice. But today we're going to be working on the lower half of this guy. We're going to start by building some feet and feet joints. So we're going to need a couple of polycap number 3s. 1, 2, 3. These ones we don't even have to use our nippers on. They just twist right off. Got the Gundam dog himself napping here on camera. Just enjoying this cool winter's evening. Now we need 2 D17s and 2 D16s. So we're just gonna cut these off nice and easy. $17 and $16. And then we will do another 17 and 16. Yeah, it's been about 2 months since I've gotten to work on my model kits here. Work has been insanely busy, being that it was the end of the fiscal year. Then we have holidays coming up, and it's just a very busy time of year. But I love this time of year, especially New England. I prefer fall over winter, but we had our first snowfall the other day, and I was at a Christmas light festival with my parents. I drove them up to Massachusetts, and they have a display with over 400,000 lights. And it was just like the perfect snowfall. It was nice and dark out, and they turned them all on, and it was quite picturesque. Got a couple Christmas lights set up in my house, but nothing too crazy. Certainly not 400,000. But it was a beautiful place. We got to walk around a lake that was all lit up. It was a very nice time. Of course, had some holiday shopping that's had to be done for my Secret Santa at work. The individual that I got, he's an older guy, and he is, very successful, very wealthy. And he's the type of guy who, if he wants something, he just buys it. So he's kind of hard to get a gift for, especially within the confines of a Secret Santa at work gift. where our limit is supposed to be $20. Pretty much everyone goes over. Most people do at least like 30-ish. But it's a $20 minimum, really. And he is a huge Batman fan. So there's a new book that came out called Gotham City Cocktails. So I had it in my Amazon cart, and in the time it took me to go to check out, the last copy sold out. And all the other copies I could find online were from international shippers, so there was no way it was going to be here in time. And none of my local independent bookstores had any. But Books A Million actually had. The website listed it as limited availability. So I ran down there, and they had one copy left. So I picked that up. I think he'll get some enjoyment out of that book. It's very well presented. It's just the book itself is very nice. It has this lovely cloth cover with gold accents in it, with the Gotham City skyline and gold sparkles throughout the cover. There's that very nice Gotham City Art Deco feel. So I'm sure that he will enjoy it. Alright, so 16 and 17 with our polycap joint facing up. I actually ordered some new model kits tonight. It's been a while since I've placed an order, but there's been a kit. It's called the Dagger, and I pre-ordered it when it was initially coming out, and the pre-order was so backlogged, just with supply chain issues, that they eventually canceled my pre-order. And I mean, that was probably a year and a half, or close to 2 years ago, and it happened to be in stock. And it's a relatively inexpensive kit. I mostly build high grades, which is what that is. So I jumped on that as soon as I saw that it was there. We're gonna need 2 polycap number 7s, and then they had 2 kits from the new anime, The Witch from Mercury, available, so I got both of those. I really like the suit designs from The Witch from Mercury. I haven't even seen the anime yet. I tried watching it on the Crunchyroll app while I was on the treadmill at the gym, and they do not have a dub out yet. So I will not be watching that at the gym anytime soon. But just off the model kit designs, I really like it. It's unique, similar to the way that Iron-Blooded Orphan suits were unique. You can tell it's definitely different from your Universal Century era kits. And I love the UC stuff. That's classic Gundam. But it's nice to have some variety. Now we need these 2 feet bottoms here. So we'll cut these out and trim these up. And a lot of the new kits from the new anime, they're very vibrant, they're very colorful, which is very nice to see. As much as I enjoy my realistic depictions of what military stuff would look like, which tends to be beige, black, steel, pretty neutral colors. It's nice to have some fun colors in there. They've got some really nice like pastel purples and some pretty vibrant maroons. So I will be excited to work on those kits. Although when I'm done with this kit, I believe I'm going to tackle at least another section of my perfect grade ZAKUIIF2. I built the head, and that was as far as I got. Because that kit is something else. It was released, I believe, in 1996, and has not been changed at all since. So it uses a lot of old school building techniques. It was also the second ever perfect grade kit released. All of the directions are completely in Japanese. There's no English at all. So I have to use Google Translate for quite a bit, which gets the job relatively done. Enough for me to figure out what I need to do. But with the perfect grade kits, there's a lot of very intricate steps, and things have to be done in a very particular order, or else it's just not going to work together. Hey, David, thank you for following. So we're trimming up this foot here. Nice. Now we're going to work on this other section of the foot. Yes, he is a very sleepy doggo. He spent some good time running around in the snow today. So he is quite tired. Trimming up these darker colored plastic parts is always a little tricky. If you're not careful, you'll put too much stress on the gate, and it will turn a very different shade of whatever color you're working with. So in this case, it would become like a very light gray. That's looking pretty good, though. So this is a ZAKUIIF2. Got the box here. I love the high-grade kits. They're honestly my favorites to build. It's a super relaxing time. Nothing too challenging. Just a nice way to spend some time. A couple hours here and there. And they do have pretty nice detail. If you take the time and panel line them, they really look nice on a shelf. All right. This is pretty standard here for the feet joints with the polycap setup. Need to have that facing this way. There we go. I really like the color of this kit. The Zaku's are my favorite kits in general, but having one that's so different than your typical green or red, it's gonna really stand out amongst my small army of Zaku's. There we go. That's moving nice and free. It's all lining up nice. That looks good. Alright, so we have our feet pieces complete. And next up, it looks like we have a small step that's going to lead to our knee joints. So we're going to need 2 polycap number 1s. And then D11s. You know, I bought a new set of nippers, but I keep going back to this pair. This smaller set is just so comfortable. And I got this set at my local used video game store slash nerd shop slash anime shop. It's an interesting little place. And for, let's say 2 or 3 years, they carried a lot of Gundam and plastic model supplies. It's toned back quite a bit in the past few years, but still a nice shop to visit now and again. Now they mostly sell the anime figures and still primarily used video games, used music, that sort of thing. But they usually have a couple of high grades and a few real grades kicking around. They had a couple of the Verka kits, which were pretty neat to see in person. Not quite my speed. Nothing I would want to build myself, but they were neat to see. It's actually where I got my perfect grade Zaku. Oh, you gotta get some of the bad guy kits, man. The villain kits are the best. I've got some Zaku 2s. I've got some Zaku 1s. I think I have a Char's custom Zaku 1, which is a pretty interesting kit. The first gen Zakus are really slightly bizarre looking with their headpieces. Not nearly as iconic as the Zaku 2s. There we go. This is an interesting recolor because it's the Earth Federation using a Zaku instead of Xeon. And I know there was a variant where they had the top half was the same as the ZAKUIIF2, and the legs were from another kit. I don't remember which one, but it was a really, really interesting look. That'd be a good high-grade kit to get. I don't know, if you're looking for Xeon stuff, like, you can't go wrong with just any of the Zakus. But those new Witch from Mercury kits are really nice. They're such a different design if you're looking for something oddball. They remind me a bit of Iron-Blooded Orphans, but with a slightly more like fantastical nature. And I loved IBO. That was a great show, and the model kits are just so different from your Universal Century kits. Alright, so now we're going to work on that knee joint. So we're going to need 2 D18s. Get those trimmed out. Yes, the Lilith kit looks so nice. I buy most of my Gundam kits now from USA Gundam Store, and just the the pre-order pictures for all the Witch from Mercury kits, they're so nice. Even the basic the training unit, I don't remember what they called it, Doma I think it was. It's just a nice basic grunt suit, and I'm a sucker for the kind of the grunt guys more so than most of the hero suits. That goes there, and this goes here. I do think it'll be interesting a couple years from now when we start seeing some of the higher end kits, whether it's master grades or real grades, in the Witch from Mercury line. I haven't heard how the show's been doing overall, but I hope it does well. You can never go wrong with a good GM suit. The gyms are just so neat. So I was really excited when they had the dagger back in stock. I ordered that one tonight. I think I have the GM Sniper 2. It's either the Sniper or the Sniper 2. It's the tan with purple accents, and that looks so nice on the shelf. Just cleaning up these nubs here. Trim these down. There we go. And then polycap 11 slides into there. Oh, it's delayed by 2 weeks? Oh. Did they say why it's delayed? I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I watched most of my anime while I'm at the gym on the treadmill, and I really need subs for that, so no luck yet. But I've got some time coming off for the holidays, so maybe I'll sit down and actually watch some. Ah, okay. Now we're going to need our polycap 10s. What I have been watching at the gym is Rurouni Kenshin. And I have not watched that since it aired on Toonami back when I was like 12 years old. And man, that show holds up so well. That's been a very enjoyable watch. Now we need 12 and 13. That's a good one to watch at the gym too. Just any kind of shonen anime really helps motivate you while you're just running on the treadmill for an hour. 12 and 13. Then another 12 and 13. This kit is coming together pretty nice, though. Definitely happy with this kit. And this wasn't a kit that I sought out. I was at a hobby shop, and this was a random kit that they happened to have. And that shop doesn't carry a ton of Gunpla stuff. They're more of a Warhammer store. So it was nice to find this one there. I think I picked up this one and the high-grade heavy arms the same day. Actually, my heavy arms kit might have came from Target, which was quite unexpected when Target had their own exclusive RX-78-2 Gunpla, but I had to get it. High-grade silver ace. That one I'm not sure about. The 30-minute missions kits are pretty neat, though. That's definitely a pretty cool line, and there's just so much customizing. I mean, you can do customizing with any of the kits, but you can really get crazy with those. And you'll never know where you're going to find Gunpla kits. I've seen them at Hobby Lobby. I've seen them at Target. Even my local Walmart had some kits for a while. It's interesting seeing them in major retail stores. Because it is still, I mean, the hobby's definitely bigger than it's ever been, but it's still a pretty niche hobby. But there's also so many other plastic model kits now. I have a Kotobukiya kit, one of the frame arms girls. And that kit was... It was a very well-made kit, but it was very tedious to build. It was worth it when it was done. And it is a great kit. It looks awesome on the shelf. But you're also paying a good amount of money for those kits. I mean, they were close to $60 last I checked. Whereas you can get a high-grade Gunpla kit for... I mean, some of the smaller ones go for like $15 now. So the investment in the Kotobukiya kits, it's definitely present. But it does look nice when it's all said and done. All right. So this will go in here and needs to be angled with the slot facing downward. And this goes in with the fins forward. Okay. Nothing too crazy about this knee joint. Get that one in there. That one in there. That is a very small post in one of those joints, though. I mean, it just goes into a poly cap, but still, that post is awful small. Alright, so now we have the next section of the knee done. Now we need 2B number 10s. That's one of the things I love about these high grades, is you really can just take your time, have an enjoying build. It's not frustrating, it's not overly complicated. Just a nice relaxing time. And when you're done, you've got something awesome on your shelf. That's looking good. This is just a little armor plate for the front of the knee joint. Alright, that's looking good. Alright, so our smaller section faces downward. Which will be this way. Alright, so there we've got the knee armor put in. And next it looks like the hip joint. So we're going to need 4 polycap number 1s, which is all that we have left. Then a D14 and a D15. When I bought this kit, the box certainly makes it look more like a Snow White versus the very beige color that it actually is. But I was pleasantly surprised. But I do want to get a black and white Zaku at some point. I think the black and white color scheme looks good on any suit. It's such a just classic look. Alright, so we'll start with this curve section first. I'm always extra careful on these, because this is a part that's usually pretty visible. I want to keep that curve going. I have a coworker who is very big into remote control cars, and he gets this magazine that is just like hobbyist tooling for any sort of small scale hobby. So for model building, whether it's Gunpla models, whether it's model cars, model trains. And he let me look through it the other day, and man, there were some very useful little tools in that book. They had a gorgeous set of sanding blocks that I think I might end up ordering, because when I work on my perfect grade kit, that's definitely something I want to take the time and really sand down and blend everything just as nice as I can. Alright, that's looking good. I think my pumpkin candle is about done. But it has served me well. I usually have that candle burning when I'm playing Final Fantasy XIV or reading in this room or working on models. Alright. one more here to trim up. This one's actually a little too big, so I'm going to come back in with the nippers here. Just bring that down a little bit. There we go. I might do the same here. Nice. Much better. And now my X-Acto knife can just kind of glide right over there where I want it to be. Not put too much stress on the part. There we go. So we have 14 here. We're going to have one poly cap facing out. And one poly cap facing down. Alright, so there's one. This one faces out. This one faces down. We'll put these back together. Alright, so that's what our hip joint looks like. Pretty standard. So now we're going to need a D19. We have that sub part that's going to go in there. Then we're going to need B24 and 26. 24 and 26. So we'll get these trimmed up. There's a good little bit of detail on here, so we'll do some panel lining on this one as well. Just trying to follow that line. That's looking good. Just a little trim here. I think one of the other kits I'd like to hunt down is the Nobel Gundam. Looks like a Sailor Moon Gundam. That thing's pretty interesting. I like some of the more interesting kit designs, which is probably why I really enjoy the suit designs from Iron-Blooded Orphans and Witch from Mercury. There we go. This part actually has a pretty visible seam line. You're not going to see it really once it's assembled, but it definitely jumps out. All right. 24 here, 26 here. Polycap goes in with the polycap side facing out. Pivot that down so it's straight. Then this should click into place there. Beautiful. Nice. Then mate these two together. Okay, we are looking good. So that's the next part of our leg here. Then we have B28 that goes on front, and a B number 9 on the side. These are identical parts. B number 9. Here we go. So let's get these trimmed up. I'm actually gonna come back through with the nippers again. Just clean up those ones that were a little difficult to get while it was on the runner. Get this side done. And this side. All right. Then we got this little guy here. Looks like a little vent. Tiny little guy. There's a good amount of detail on this little part, though. All right. So it goes with the shark fin facing down. So that'll be this way. Okay. Oh, very nice. Let's go in the front. I think the next thing I'm gonna do I want to build that next assembly? I'm gonna take a look at that, because that next assembly will be this and this, which has no real area to panel line. B11, let's take a look. This piece trimmed up. Not much to really, not anything to really panel line on this part. That is okay. Alright, that's looking good. Then we're going to need A24. These are both the same. Let's clean this up real quick. This is made out of a softer plastic here for the vent tubes. Alright. So we will have one hip joint, have one knee joint. That will slide over here. Our hip joint facing in. This will go into here. There we go. You pivot that down like this, which locks it into place. Might have to adjust this part a little bit. There we go. Now that should line up. There we go. Then that will sit in there. Pivots up and down nice. Hey. There we go. And that'll go there. But this is where we're gonna stop for the night. We're gonna spend some time panel lining this, and then we will work on the next leg another day. It's important not to turn not to turn this part upside down, because with the vent tube in there, it likes to just fly all over the place. Let's try that again. There we go. Much better. Well, David, thank you for being a new follower. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a great night, and I will catch you all later.